Well, considering it's a boring day and I don't have much energy and it's too hot to go outside, I figured I would make another video about cyclic vomiting. Um, um, this one I would like to address. I see a lot of questions of spouses, parents, and so on asking how can they help their loved one get through the episode. There's a lot of questions of or a lot of statements, I feel helpless, I wish I knew what to do, I try and do this and they don't want that, and just a lot of confusion on exactly how to make us comfortable while this is going on. Once again, I'll start with my own experience. For me, I think I've said before, I can't be touched. I need to be in a dark room. I just need to be left alone. Don't talk to me. If I talk to you, I'm only going to be able to whisper. Probably isn't going to make any sense. And the key thing that I believe that a partner or a caregiver needs to know is to make the decision when the person needs to go to the hospital. Because I will tell you from personal experiences, the hospitals are not friendly usually to when we come in, and so it kind of makes us not want to go in, you know, because it makes a bad situation sometimes worse. So you have to let us know. Like I've told my other half, listen, you know what I mean? If you're asking me if it's time to go from what you see, then it probably is time to go. Sometimes I feel like I can ride it out. Sometimes that can be a very deadly decision. People have chosen to ride it out at home, and they have suffered pre-signs of tachycardia. Their potassium levels drop so low from the sweating and the vomiting and sometimes the diarrhea that you're really putting your body in danger. So you really kind of have to know your limit, I guess. And sometimes when it's so bad, you just don't know your limit, and you already feel like hell. You're miserable. You don't want to move. You don't want anybody to touch you. So the last thing you want to do is get in a car, you know, and go to the hospital. But I'm telling you right now, it's very important. I mean, these can hit so hard that within hours your body is already registering levels that are unhealthy and unsafe for your heart and for your kidneys and your liver and your potassium levels. And if you look any one of those things up online, I mean, they're all very serious. The disease itself, or I'm sorry, I can't call it the disease, it has been qualified as that, but the illness itself, they say, cannot kill you. Unless, well, but the side effects from it can. You could suffer esophageal ruptures. You could start throwing up massive amounts of blood. I know I had my own experience with that. I was hospitalized for 5 days. I threw up blood for approximately 18 hours straight, and the hospital couldn't stop it. I remember a doctor saying at one point to my mother, we've given her everything, we don't know what else to do. And I mean, that was afterwards, and everything kind of clicked on what had happened. It was kind of scary because it made me realize that writing it out at home wasn't necessarily the best thing. Now, some people, quite a few people actually, need to be in a hot bath. And when I mean hot, I mean scalding hot, where if anybody else got in, they probably think that you were crazy. I'm not one that can get in the tub, but I do know at one point when I was trying to abort an episode, and that means trying to make it stop before it starts, I sat in the tub and I ran scalding hot water on my feet. And what I realized at the time was it felt like the nerve endings were so affected by the heat of the water that it possibly took the attention off of the wildfire of nerve reaction through the rest of my body. And it did give me enough time to allow the anti-nausea medicine to work and the anti-anxiety. I forgot to mention that last time with my meds. I am on a high anti-anxiety med because it also has a lot to do with CVS. It's one of our triggers, and we'll cover triggers some other day. But make sure your partner or your child or whoever it is, when they're healthy, ask them what would make them feel best. I think the most important things to remember are always keep them with some sort of an electrolyte or at least water. We constantly need to, even though we're going to throw it right back up, we need that water because it helps us, you know, obviously from dehydrating. Warm towels. Some people like cold. That's what you'll have to ask. Look, he's back. Because we, you know, or you might have to wipe our face for us. Even if we're crying and complaining, I don't care how old we are, we cry and complain. You have to wipe that stomach acid off of our face because it will leave severe burns and red marks and marks that will take quite a while to go away, sometimes weeks at a time. Try and keep them in a dark place. Like, don't let anybody come over and like hang out. I know my boyfriend, he keeps the TV off. If the TV is on, it's on mute, or he wears his headphones. If you have animals, sometimes our animals do like to comfort us when we're sick. So if somebody who's suffering from an episode, say you have a dog or a cat, if that animal is laying in there and that person's not complaining, don't bother the animal. They know we're sick. It's their natural reaction to want to take care of us the way they take care of them. And as long as the patient isn't complaining, the animal just may be bringing comfort to that person. And also, if you bother the animal, if the animal's laying still, once the animal gets up and moves, it's going to disturb the CVS patient, which is going, if they're sleeping, it's going to cause them to wake up and start vomiting again. So that's very important. But the most common things I hear are heat. You know, we need to be in the heat, we need to be in the dark, we need to be undisturbed. We need to be looked in on. Undisturbed does not mean, you know, don't look on us. If we're sleeping or we're not moving, or don't ask us if we're okay, because we're not. Don't ask really if there's anything that you can do, because if we can express that to you, we will express that to you. That's why I said my best suggestion is ask your partner when they're healthy. And if they've had it, even if it's a child, it's amazing how much little kids know. I mean, it's our own bodies and we know how they feel. So, you know, just that's my best advice, is ask your sufferer, because everybody is different. Yet when it comes to this, there are a lot of similarities. So just ask them when they're healthy. Keep them provided with a clean face so that they don't have the battle wounds the next day and weeks ahead of time, especially little kids and people. Nobody wants to have to explain why it looks like you have herpes on your face when it's from vomiting, because that starts the whole conversation. So I think I addressed everything I wanted to bring up. And once again, if there's something else you'd like me to bring up in a later video, let me know. You can follow me on here, or you can follow me on Facebook. I'm under the same name. Very open about it. I've got nothing to hide. So that's my input, I guess, on what a spouse or a caretaker or parent or whomever can help their CVS sufferer get through those times. Once again, it's cvsaonline.org, and search on Facebook and or Google, and also on YouTube. There are quite a bit of stories that are coming about, and I think it's about time. If no one's going to raise awareness for us, we need to raise awareness for ourselves. Peace.